Hello, beautiful people. I hope you had a wonderful. Yes, Megan Small, thanks so very much. Telling me that my subscribers were waiting for me. Here we are. Here we are, guys. I know. I was just trying to get my internet okay. And yes. So, hello, how beautiful people. I am so happy you guys are here and that hopefully, you had a wonderful Easter. And if not, oof, I don't know what to tell you. But yes, how are you, beautiful people? Leave me your comments below. Leave me your comments below so we can talk about it. So, how are you? So much to talk about today. I want to talk about a lot of stuff. There's 10 memberships. Make sure that you have enabled receiving free memberships or gifts. That way, you know that I don't give it to anybody. YouTube randomly assigns it. Okay. And I wanted to talk about a couple of things, guys. Megan Small, I sent you the link. Megan Small, in case you want to join for a little bit, just to have fun. Because I'm actually going to talk about something very interesting here. And yeah, I think I wanted to talk about this because I got some info about what's happened here. And it seems to be pretty reliable, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So happy Easter, beautiful people. Hello, 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 hello. So let's start with this one. We're going to start with this one right away. This was shared by In Touch Weekly. Okay. And this was shared, I believe, on Wednesday. Please correct me if I'm wrong, Megan Small. This was shared by In Touch magazine, which actually, Shallon Lester, this is part of the Inquirer, and it used to be, Shallon Lester used to be, how do you call it? The editor, one of the editors for it was right. Megan Small, join me. Why don't you join me, please? You have a lot of info on this topic, but I got some info about this. Apparently, Harry was told major news, personally, when he came to the United Kingdom. He was told two things. Hello, everybody. Hello. Thanks very much. Let me see. I'm getting my son to chill out before I do. Okay. Okay. So join whenever you can, Megan Small. This was North Carolina. Hello, beautiful people. I want to take the time to thank you guys for always coming here. Don't forget to subscribe to Megan Small, and to everybody, all the people who come and participate. Megan Small is a single mom, and she takes the time to entertain us and give us info. But this is very important because Megan Small did a video about this, so I got curious and I asked somebody about it. And it's basically they're given 2 days advance. I don't know, but the funny thing, and I'll tell you what it is in a minute, because Harry was told as a test, apparently, among other things, two major news. Okay, and then this time, not even the York girls knew about it. Okay, so Harry was given two sets of news. So this is published on Wednesday, right? That Kate on Friday, Princess Catherine on Friday, will give a source tells In Touch exclusively. The only source who could say that, it's Harry, Meghan, or Scobie. But however, not even Omid Scobie knew that Princess Catherine was going to announce that, guys. So most likely it's one of the news that Harry was told. I'm fine. Thank you very much, beautiful people. I hope you're all doing fine. Please enable your gift receiving so you can get one of the 10 free 1 month free memberships, because YouTube every month on the first of every month. Oh, Megan Small is here. Hello.
Hi.
Hello, gorgeous.
How are you?
Oh, I'm doing well. Thank you very much, Megan Small. How
Yeah.
was your Easter?
It was good. It was good. Lots of chocolates for my little one. I actually bought him, I don't know if you saw the picture, Paula, but I bought him like a chocolate Easter egg, but it
I
was a
saw.
custom made one. And when you break it, inside was full of more candies.
Oh my God. You must have been so hyper,
Oh
after.
my God, it was crazy all day yesterday. He was just running around going,
Poor monster.
it's all good. How was yours Easter? Did you have a good Easter?
Well, actually, I stayed home because it's very hot here,
Oh,
Megan, Molly, and it's too sunny for me. This is the hottest month of the year, pretty much before it starts raining, which makes sense because all the evaporation goes up.
yeah,
But it's like 44, 45 degrees, which is really horrible because usually here throughout the whole year is paradise. You have between 30 34 degrees,
yeah.
So it's actually quite mild. If it gets below 30 degrees, people are, oh my God, it's freezing. So, but
I
yeah, so I stayed home. I stayed home and then I had City. She was sick one whole night.
Oh no, that's not fun.
No, no, no. And she's such a lady, because I think I've been told that because she looked like she was trying to swallow a lot, and
Mhm.
I went Google and
Yeah,
said, what happens when your little puppy, with your dog is, like trying to swallow and she was really uncomfortable. And it said that she wants to throw up or something.
I was gonna say take that sausage out of its mouth.
You evil. It's too funny, Megan, as well. But yeah, you know what? I wanted to talk about this because you and I have talked about this. Because I reached out to my friend in England after I saw your video. By the way,
Yeah.
Megan Small did a video on this one. I don't know why people were angry, but it's true.
They were very angry. You have no I you know what's crazy is that there is a certain group now that are very like behind King Charles, and then you've got the group that is very like Prince William and Catherine. And I'm one of those people where if I see something, I'm going to report it. I don't care if you like Prince William or Princess Catherine or King Charles. I'm going to report what I see because obviously we know that the news that is being circulated on US soil is completely different than what is being circulated on UK soil. And when I
Absolutely.
released this video, I was like, okay, we need to be asking questions why In Touch Weekly and TMZ and other American publications are allowed to be releasing information before the royal family does. I mean, it reminded me of the whole remember when Omid Scobie put the names of the two alleged racists in his book in his Dutch version, but then the UK public, they weren't allowed to know. And how dare Piers Morgan mention the names of who it was? Well, I just did the same thing. In Touch Weekly was basically saying Catherine is going to reveal her cancer diagnosis in an announcement. Well, the announcement was her revealing her cancer diagnosis, but you guys already revealed it. I
Absolutely.
was
Absolutely.
the amount of hate I was getting was crazy. And I'm just like, you know what? I threw up a little note on my community section and I'm like, the people that come after me and send me death threats about me asking simple questions, you are no different than the Sussex squad at this point.
Absolutely, absolutely, Megan Small.
Mhm.
This is why I wanted to touch upon this because you don't go after my girl. She's, and this is no, seriously. We do the work that journalists don't want to do because they only want to report on what's popular and what people want to hear.
Mhm.
Oh, like it's great that Fergie and Andrew were at the Easter Mass, but we're gonna get into that later on. But this is very important, guys, because apparently Harry was told he has two. Thank you, Footsie Girl. He was given quite a few. It's like a test of fire to see if he could be trusted.
I thought Harry was only told about the website being updated, which is why they released their website quickly. Because the only reason why I ask is why would they try and test Harry again when they already tested him during the Queen's funeral and he went and ran and told Omid Scobie that she would be coming by train when it wasn't true, right? Why would they give
Because
him any
because
more
Charles is an
chances?
idiot. Because Charles is an idiot. there's this famous reporter. She reports on the royal family, right? And
Yeah.
she just wrote an article about Prince William. She attended an event where Prince William was, right? And she
Okay.
hurt her foot. She fell down and she hurt her foot. So the workers, because it was like a construction site, so the workers gave her like a frozen. They had some spinach that were frozen. You know those
Yeah.
bags,
Yeah. Yeah.
and they put her on her foot. So Prince William usually didn't like her. I'm trying to remember what her name is, but she's very well known.
Mm-hmm.
And then what happened is when she was sitting down, he came up to her because she couldn't move, and he said to her, "It's good that I caught you because now you can't go anywhere. It'd be good if you write about my projects instead of what Clarence House tells you
Mm-hmm.
on the gossip that Clarence House feeds you." And he said those words to her.
Mm-hmm.
So let's not, people don't understand. And this is one of the things that I know people want to, you know what it is, Molly, that I feel is like people, oh, poor Sarah, poor Fergie, poor Andrew. I don't mean Andrew POV, poor Andy, Randy Andy, it's Christian. The queen was much more of a Christian than Charles is. And you never saw the queen bringing
Yeah.
Fergie around,
Yeah. I
you
know.
know.
You always hear these stories about how, oh, Sarah was the queen's favorite. Well, where? I never saw anything. I always side-eyed the story of, I think I mentioned it in like a video I had done like few weeks back, where I've always said that the queen claiming that Andrew and Harry were her favorites was because she knew that Harry and Andrew are two degenerates who could screw up the monarchy. And that's why she kept them close. That's what I truly think.
Well, actually, from what I was told,
Hmm.
actually her favorite grandkid was Peter Phillips,
Peter
because he
Phillips
was,
is adorable. I love him.
yes, yeah, yeah, but he actually was her favorite grandkid, maybe because it was the first one and it's from her daughter,
Hmm.
and the same thing with Sarah Tyndall, that they were both actually her favorite. But
Hmm.
what I want to show you is this, Masmo, because this is very interesting. This is very interesting here. We have this here, right?
Yeah.
This was published on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to stop this one and I'm going to show you the other one, guys, because this is very important. Now, this was published on the Friday. And the reason why this was published on the Friday is because they waited to see whether it was true or not that Catherine was going to reveal that she had cancer, because they were not sure that was true,
Hmm.
because they got those news from Harry and Meghan.
Yeah.
But the news in touch, they know that Harry and Meghan lie so much that they were too worried, because it's the big C.
Hmm.
It's the big C. So they were too worried and wanted to make sure that Catherine actually did reveal that she had cancer before posting the second news that they received from Harry and Meghan Markle.
You know what? I just find it all interesting that all this information is being put out in the US press, right? In the US media. And it just led me back to think that if Charles and Catherine were at the same London clinic where Catherine's records were allegedly like gone into, right? Or they
Yeah.
tried or attempted to. Who are we to believe that they didn't try to access Charles's records also? We're not hearing about that. I mean, it would be more important to be accessing Charles's records and get his information out there, considering he's the monarch. But I always sometimes feel, and this is just my opinion, that Catherine is used as the punching bag, basically. What if the US media or whoever did access Charles's records, did get his information, but they used Catherine and her information being accessed as like, okay, she's the shield while we deal with Charles's stuff behind the scenes, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
No,
Do you
I
get what
completely
I'm saying?
agree. I completely agree with you. I mean,
Mhm.
I find it to be like, it's like, I find that she's like the punching bag.
Yeah, I do
I don't
too. I do
Don't you
too.
think so? Because
I feel like Catherine has been the punching bag for the royal family for ages. She's always been hung out to dry by them. Ever since she started dating William, they never protected her, despite Catherine being the jewel in the crown. She is the diamond in the royal family. She is the reason why people pay attention to the royal family. I know Princess Anne, and like Princess Anne is amazing, the amount of work that she does, but she doesn't get the attention that Catherine does. They don't. And I would think if it was me and Catherine is, if I knew that Catherine is my like jewel in the crown, I would be protecting her with everything. There would be a ring of steel around her, but there isn't.
No, because you know what? I really do believe that Charles doesn't like sharing the spotlight. That was
Yeah.
one of the major problems he had with Princess Diana,
Yeah.
that she was way more popular, and he actually belittled her when he saw, because he thought of her, he thought very little of her, that he
Mhm.
couldn't understand why people, why, thank you, Footsie Girl, that he couldn't understand why people would like her, prefer her over him. It's like shocking to him. His narcissism couldn't process that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the same thing with Catherine. I really do believe that it's the same thing with Catherine. You know, and it's like, he is the king. I am the royal one. Catherine is the punching bag. You know, she like, I was shocked because were Queen Elizabeth alive, I'm sure Queen Elizabeth would have put a stop to those nasty things about Catherine. He allowed it to happen, and people, oh, he has cancer. Okay, so if he's that ill, why isn't he naming a regent?
Yeah, that's what I've wondered. That's what I've wondered the entire time. I mean, when Catherine was being dragged by the media just for asking for time off, you would think, okay, Charles, you've got enough energy to go and meet with like Korean War survivors. You can meet with cabinet ministers, but you won't put out a statement or something to like say, okay, that's enough of this abuse, like cut it out. I mean, I remember when the Queen didn't she do that for Diana?
Yeah,
Well,
1981, when she was pregnant with William, they were
yeah.
taking pictures of her of duty, and they were really harassing her. So
Mhm.
she ordered her private secretary to contact the heads of the newspapers and
Yeah.
summon them to the palace and told them, leave the girl alone.
Yeah.
You know, she's pregnant, and stuff like that. And the queen wasn't shy about that.
Mhm. I know. And the thing is that they did that for Meghan Markle.
Yes. And
Right.
over something that was false.
Yeah.
She wasn't
Over
suffering.
BS. She just wanted people to know that she was dating Prince Harry. That's it.
Exactly. Leave my cousin alone. And I was like thinking, I
But
actually know that street. That street is about 5 or 6 blocks away from where we are in Toronto. That's a very narrow street, guys. It's not a high end street, and it's not a low end street. It's in between, you know. Her
yeah.
house is actually quite small, very narrow. I
Yeah.
was rented, and there is no way, like, and there's CCTV cameras, and this is why the police, when they came in and inspected her, they didn't even need to come around. They just looked at the CCTV footage. There was nobody. The only pictures that were there, do you remember Megan Small, when she called, one of the many times she called the Paps, when she bought those flowers and she came walking down the street to her place?
Yeah. One of the paps was actually, I think his name was Jessel or something like that. And he actually confirmed that the one where Megan was wearing the necklace with the M and H, and then later on she complained, or it was said in Harry's spare book, that the palace said you shouldn't be wearing things like that to draw attention to yourself. And then she started crying because the palace was so mean to her, and they didn't want her to wear a necklace that had their initials on it so that the press wouldn't be tipped off. Yeah, but Jessel said that he was the one that took those photos of Megan that day, and he would always get calls from her to come and take her photos. I mean, even the photos of her in that white jacket, the sleeveless long white jacket that she wore in the UK, she called the Paps to have them take her photo there. Like,
Exactly, exactly. But this is why the police, this is why people say, oh, the police. And because the police, this is why they use fake footage of other people actually being papped,
yeah.
because they didn't have any. Not
Well,
even Harry and Meghan were being followed.
you
you
know
know?
the one that the footage of her being papped when she's walking down to Kensington Palace from Whole Foods and she's wearing Harry's hat and like the gum boots and everything.
That's
So
stupid.
I had posted that photo, and an actual photographer who worked at Daily Mail quote tweeted my photo and said, "I know the guy who took this photo and you are correct about your story." The fact that she walked back and forth multiple times past Daily Mail offices. And then remember in Harry's Spare or in Netflix, I forget which one, she was claiming that the women in Whole Foods were noticing her because of the gossip magazines that were in the aisles, and they were pointing to the magazine and then pointing to her, and they pulled out their phones and said, "We're allowed to take your photo if we want to." But here's the thing, if anyone in their life has been to a Whole Foods, they would know that that story was bullshit instantly, because Whole Foods doesn't have gossip magazines in their aisles. Everything is about health or architecture or food, wellness. There's no gossip rags in Whole Foods ever.
Yeah. And I don't remember, because I lived in London, in England, 6 years, guys. I don't
Yeah.
remember being at Whole Foods. I remember being Waitrose. But people, I don't know. What's insane about that too? That Harry contradicts himself, because you remember there was another time when he said that he couldn't believe how nobody recognized Meghan Markle at the
Yeah.
supermarket. It's like
Yeah.
we were both walking up and down, and I couldn't understand why people didn't recognize her. Does
Well,
he
you know
really
what's
think she's Princess Diana?
I honestly don't get that, because remember during their engagement interview when he was like, "Oh, someone told me about Meghan Markle," and I was like, "Okay, so who is that? Tell me more." Right? Like he didn't know anything about her. He even said, "I don't know anything about her. I don't know who she was." And then all of a sudden, oh, everyone wanted her autographed. William and Catherine wanted her autograph. The flight crew from Botswana wanted her autograph. Like, get real. The flight crew from Botswana. And then Megan going, "Oh, when I was coming back to Canada, the flight crew was like, 'Thank you for everything you've done for our country, ma'am.'" That's
What's really
ridiculous.
interesting that I wanted to talk to you about? I
Yeah.
wanted to talk to you about Ted Sarandos getting at CB, commander of the British Empire.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Hi, Toomey. I see Toomey's here.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to join to me. Can you send me a WhatsApp and let me know if you want to join? But what do you make of that?
Well, we were talking about this the other day, right? You and I said there I have a couple of of thoughts in my head. So one of them is that I don't understand why Ted Sarandos would be receiving a CBE, because if you really look at his what he's done for the creative industries, it hasn't really been much. If you look at his history, he hasn't done anything. So what it has made me think, Paula, is that we know that Netflix has a ton of B footage on Harry and Meghan, stuff that they have not released, right? And Netflix could easily say, like, "Okay, Harry and Meghan, you guys haven't done shit for us. So we're going to take all the B-roll footage of you guys being complete fuck ups, and we're going to make a movie of that, or like a documentary about that, and put it out." You know how much money that would make for Netflix, seeing Harry and Meghan being complete disasters?
Yeah, the
I
outtakes, the bloopers.
Yeah, the outtakes, the bloopers. Now, I believe, what if King Charles is giving Ted Sarandos this CBE to not ever release that bad footage that will paint Harry in a bad light? Think
Because
about
let's
it.
not forget something, guys.
Does
People
that
say,
make
"Oh, he
sense,
has
though?
no choice. He has no choice. He has no choice." Let me tell you how these things work. Yes, the government, the parliament, the government, they do can put a list of honors, but so can the king, the monarch. In very rare occasions, they have, like, for example, they can suggest Jimmy Savile, like, because he was knighted. um, uh, but um, but they send it to the king, to the monarch, and the monarch reviews the list, because at the end of the day, those those um, honors are given by the royal family. So they do have a say in it. And the article is very clear where it says that the king personally chose that. Now, Ted Sarandos is not an actor. He's not an artist. He actually, Netflix is pretty shitty with Cuties. Do you remember Cuties, Molly?
Of course I do. That was
And all the
disgusting.
things. And actually, Netflix lost a lot of money under Ted Sarandos because a lot of people unsubscribed. I mean, they became big during COVID, but after that, with all the mess and stuff like that that they had going woke and everything, they lost a lot of money. So basically, Ted Sarandos is just an executive of a company.
That's all
But
he
he's,
is.
yeah.
And let me tell you, like they said that he's receiving his CBE for what was it? For his contribution to the creative arts. Now, when you look at Sarandos's history, there is nothing. Think about it. Like I'm looking at it. I mean, he used to work in a video cassette store. He worked in a chain in 1983. He managed retail video stores until 1988. Then in 88, he became a regional director of sales and operations for the largest video distributors in the US, which was East Texas Distributors. And then until March 2000, he was the vice president of the 500 store chain. And then he became, he met Reed Hastings in 1999 and joined Netflix in 2000. But that's about it. So this is why I believe that maybe King Charles is giving Ted Sarandos this CBE to protect Harry. Because think about it, Netflix could be making millions off of the B-roll and whatever garbage that they have left of Harry and Meghan, and it's theirs. They have the licensing over it. It's their footage. It belongs to them. Is King Charles just protecting Harry like this again?
Or to thank him for funneling millions into their bank account.
I mean, it stinks to high heaven. It truly stinks.
But listen, this is co-chief executive officer of Netflix, Ted Sarandos, will also be honored as a commander of the Order of the British Empire for his services to the creative industries. The honor is one of the highest that can be awarded in the UK. Traditionally, the honors are awarded in person by a senior member of the royal family during an investiture ceremony, but Charles wants to personally be there.
So Charles is going to personally give him a CBE and stick it on his jacket?
Yeah, he personally insisted on being there.
This stinks to high heaven.
Yeah, and the honor was personally also approved by Britain's King Charles III. And this is where people don't understand. The monarch can refuse honors, especially if they're shady and stuff like that. They can.
They've been refusing David Beckham for a knighthood forever.
Yep, and he's been proposed many times,
yeah.
guys, and this is one of the things that what's his name? We get Ted Sarandos. This just to frame things for people to understand this. Ted Sarandos, an American with zero little achievement, God knows what he's doing, probably laundering money and stuff like that. It's getting an American who brought us the curtsy, who brought us colonialism 2.0 in that Netflix special, who basically trashed the queen with everything. It's being
Diana.
Yeah, he's getting the highest award, the highest, it's the highest, what's it called? The highest honor that can be awarded in the United Kingdom. And David Beckham, who's won world champions and a Class A athlete, who's been with the royal family, who's cooperated with them, who's participated in their projects and stuff like that, has been nominated by the government because they're put forth in a list, and he has been rejected.
Yeah, that's I don't know. That's shady, man. That's so shady. I mean, if Charles is just handing out CBEs willy-nilly, you should just hand me one too while you're at it. Just give me one. Give me one for having a PhD in moon bumpology. Now that everyone is starting to talk about Meghan's moon bump again.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of videos about that,
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But it's you know, I want to show you this Mo, because this is really bothering me.
Oh, Tumi's asking for the live stream link.
Great. Let me show you. To me, I'll send it to you right now. I'll go here and I'll send it to you. It's just that yes, yes, yes. Of course, I'll send. Can you send it to her, Megan Small?
Yeah, I can send it to her.
'Cause you know me and technology.
So you say.
Yes, yeah. But I want to show you this, and let's talk about this. 'Cause, I mean, are you watching it? Can you see it?
Yeah, I'm watching. Oh, play this. This wanker.
Oh, look at that.
At least she's got some sense.
But look, she likes to hang around. There was no need for her to be talking. She should have just gone into church. Oh no. She gets to linger and actually stop the real royal from talking to the archbishop because she has to take time there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do
And
you
they're
have
like,
the footage of them leaving the church and walking?
no, I actually don't.
Because when they're leaving, okay, Andrew is such a freaking putz, okay? Andrew, you can see he's like walking behind Anne and everything, but I guess he can't handle walking behind Anne because he nearly trips as he's going over the curb, and he like hightails it so he can be ahead of Anne and walking way in front.
Do you have that on your Megan Small thing?
I don't have it. I saw it elsewhere, but I don't have it.
Because I don't have them leaving. I have them coming, but I then leaving. I'm trying to type this here. Leaving mass. I'm gonna put leaving mass. Leaving mass, right?
Yeah. You know how they walk up that big hill?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And this is the thing that I don't get because they can be welcome as a family. I never said that. Of course, if they want to, but why use public events, very public events, especially now with and to me that's the way of them to bring them slowly back into profile. And I've seen people saying, oh, but there he's very Christian. Hello to me.
Hello.
Hi,
Hello,
Timmy.
everybody. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Oh, okay. Hello. How's it going?
We'll do it. How was your Easter, sweetie?
It was good. It was good. I went to church and then hung out with the family. Had a family get together. How was y'all's Easter?
No, it was also all great. And Mega Small gave her kid like one
too much
kilo of
sugar.
candy. Yeah.
And a nice Easter
I
hunt.
make it illegal. He gave him 1 kilo. So how was what's up? Tell us to me what's going on, sweetie.
Oh, nothing much. I got a new job, so thank God for that. Just chilling.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello, everybody in the chat.
Hello.
So, guys, I wanted to talk to you guys about this in the chat, but I never did, like the WhatsApp group. But no, I was working on like a little clip, like a compilation. I'm sorry to cut you guys off from what you were talking about, but if I don't say this, I'm gonna forget. I was literally like looking at photos of Megan before Harry and after she started dating him. And I don't remember what YouTube account it was, but they did like a thing about Megan's rebrands, right? How she was always rebranding herself every 2 seconds. But one thing that I noticed that was kind of left out of her video was that the rebrand from like Megan when she was right before Harry in like 2015, and she was like loving the media attention. Anytime she would stage pap photos, she was just over the moon, like literally so happy, smiling. And then as soon as she started dating Harry, like right after the picture with the initial necklace that you guys had mentioned with the flowers, all of a sudden her demeanor every time she's pap, she's like wearing big dark sunglasses, baseball hats, looking down like, oh, I'm being hunted by the paps. Like every single photo, she's never smiling. She's looking so sad. And I'm like, man, this was really like, because I in Spare, like she literally talked about how, well, Harry said that she called him driving and screaming and crying, saying that she was being almost ran off the road by paps. And Harry said that he heard like the wheels of the car like screeching in the ice in Canada, and like the paps were screaming, Megan, Megan, Megan. And I was like,
Never
like,
happened.
It never happened.
yeah. Yeah.
Harry is so dumb that the moment Meghan was planned to get hitched to him, because I don't believe this all happened like
Organic.
organically. Yeah, it
Mhm.
didn't happen organically at all. But I believe that once, because we all know how emotionally stunted and stupid Harry is. He likes
Mhm.
to play like he's a smart person, but he's dumb. And I believe that Meghan just used that as like, oh, she has to be like Diana. She's afraid of the paths. She's scared. They're following me. They're
Yeah.
hunting me down despite nobody knowing who the hell Meghan Markle was.
Exactly. So like if you look up Paula, if you look up like 2016 Meghan Markle paparazzi photos, like right after this photo, it's like, oh, dark song. And then even in Netflix, she used this particular photo. She's like, yeah, there were like 8 or 9 paps. I'm sorry, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. She
There was
says they
nobody
followed.
around her.
She's like, oh, they followed me to my car. Like, I just don't believe. I'm sorry. Like, she doesn't look like someone who's being hounded by 8 or 9 paparazzi who's scared for her life.
Megan's thing on when she was in Toronto, the way that the paps would know it was her was that her thing was either she would be wearing her baseball hat or carrying flowers. And that
Mhm.
was her always signal to the paps, like, oh, it's me, take photos of me.
Yeah, and then after that, she started doing the
You're
yoga
on
mat.
mute, Paula. You're on mute.
And she would call them. The guy said she would call us, and they wouldn't show up all the times, but when they did, like, she would insist and call and call and call because they didn't make money from her pictures.
Yeah, because they didn't know who she was, like, at the time. And the thing is, okay, I feel like the reason why the British paps were so interested in Catherine and Cressida and Chelsea Davy and everyone else who Harry was involved with was because they were in Britain. So it was easier for the British paps to be over there. So like if I was dating a Frenchman, do you think that the French paparazzi would fly all the way from France to Oregon to take my pictures? No.
Only if you were Princess Diana.
I still don't think so. If I was just
what
like
it
a
is?
royal girlfriend, like I don't think that would be the case personally.
This is her street, guys. But look at the guy on the bike. He's not even looking at her. There's nobody around.
And that's actually her Instagram. She posted that on her Instagram page. So like the same paparazzi photo, she's just recreating her own Instagram. I'm like, yeah, I go buy flowers, look at me. And then it's like, let me recreate this with the actual paps and be like, Harry, help.
Yeah, but this is Megan. This is her street where she lives because I mean, she couldn't even get anything. I would have gone to Ontario Place, which is much nicer, or one of the parks, and pretend she's walking. Oh no, they're right by, and because the street it's nice-ish. It's not dodgy, but it's not the best street.
Bro, she was too lazy to even walk 2 blocks over to make it look like a different environment. Let's be honest. Come on, the only reason Meghan Markle married Harry is that she thought that she was going to be chased like Diana and Catherine. And that's what she wanted. Oh, look, it's the same chair in the background that was at Lilibet's birthday. It's the
That's
same
the
one.
traveling couch.
Yeah, it's the same one Misan was sitting on.
A
Interesting.
Frogmore Cottage on 2020. What, 2022?
Yeah. With floating Lilibet, the floating baby. God,
Yeah.
can you imagine that? That seat could tell some stories if it could talk, huh? There could be some DNA deposits on there too. Disgusting. But what was I saying? Meghan really married Harry because she honestly thought she was going to be chased like Catherine and like Diana. I honestly believe that's why she married Harry. And when that didn't happen in the UK, she had to go and pay to get her own pap shots done to feed that narrative to Harry. Because
what's interesting is that they had actually said that there were photographs of her taken in Notting Hill, going out to eat and going to get facials and going out with whoever she was going out with, but the UK
they killed it.
didn't want it. Yeah, they didn't want to publish the photos because they're like, well, you're not on an official engagement and we'll leave you alone.
Yeah. They they actually protected her. Let's be honest.
Mhm.
Meghan Markle plays like she's such a huge victim, right? I'm a victim. I'm a victim. I'm treated so badly. Show me a victim that was welcomed into the royal family, was given everything at her whim and want. Like she didn't even have to wait for anything. She didn't even have
Mhm.
to wait for a British passport or to become a British citizen to get the title of the Duchess of Sussex. It was just given to her the moment she married Harry. She was given an over $32 million wedding. She was given over $1 million in maternity clothes while calling herself a humanitarian and a philanthropist. She was given over $1 million in jewelry and clothing. She lives in a multi-million-dollar mansion without on other people's dimes right now. Because if you're trying to tell me that Charles isn't still paying for them somehow, I don't believe that. I think Charles is still paying for them in some way or another out of his own personal funds, and we just don't know it.
Mhm.
But this girl constantly claims that she's a victim, but show me how many victims would love to be in her position.
I mean, it is actually quite disgusting if you think about it. Uh, it's yeah, it's
It
quite
is
disgusting.
disgusting. It is disgusting. This girl, look at her. She's the only one that doesn't get along with her family. She's axed out her father. Look at her, all of her previous history. She's axed out her father after he's done everything for her. If
Mhm.
if Thomas didn't do what he did and provided in the manner that he did for Megan, she wouldn't be where she is today because
Exactly.
he put her on that life path. He put her on that trajectory with his connections. And then she used Trevor. And then she used his connections. And then she went to Toronto and was sleeping around while she had him back there and he didn't know. And then she dumped him when she got on Suits because she thought she was better than him all of a sudden. Then
Mhm.
she gets Corey, steals his recipes, takes his ideas. Oh, and now all of a sudden I'm a foodie. Can you tell me what foodie cooks zucchini for 4.5 hours? Do you know what kind of slime that would turn into? Like, gross. And then she's a victim. She moves on to Harry. She met Harry at Corey's function. People need to remember this.
In May.
Corey, yeah, Corey was hired to do the catering for Invictus, for the background and everything. Megan came along because she found out Harry was going to be there. So while Corey was working and doing his job, guess what his girlfriend was doing?
Well, to be fair, she was also working, doing her job.
Well, I guess so. Yeah, you got me there.
And it's funny because she had went to the she posted on her Instagram that she had went to the opening of Soho House Istanbul and
Yeah.
then posted on the twig, oh, 24 hours or 48 hours can change your life. And it's like, what are you what?
That's
It
in
was like
2015.
Yeah, in
that was like
2015, yeah.
48 hours in Istanbul. Come on, we all
Yeah.
know who goes there for 48 hours. You don't fly like from where she was in LA or Toronto at the time, so 13 hours. You don't fly 13 hours for just a 48-hour trip, okay?
Mhm.
Clearly, you were sucking some sausage.
Oh, did you guys see what's his name? What's his name? Bozy said to me that I threatened Megan. Maybe she feels
Okay.
threatened by the questions I asked, but I don't threaten her.
I think she feels threatened over the fact that we have more YouTube subscribers than she ever could have.
Yeah. No, you know what's incredible to me? I'm showing you the picture of the lady Diana being chased. Like this is back in 1981, guys.
Yeah.
This, I mean, and people there, and they didn't even know whether she was dating, she was with, what's his name, or not,
Charles.
with Charles or not. But look at her. She's trying, you know what I mean? She was really pretty. But look at all these paps. Meghan Markle couldn't even get paps to come even when she called them.
She's
What's it really interesting, and I'm just going to say this, I don't know what you guys think, but I was told that for her, the fact that Harry put out that statement and that she was dating Harry was even if it didn't come out, if nothing came out of it, for her it was a win-win because it was a huge PR. It was another notch on her CV saying I dated a prince. So whether or not she ended up marrying him or not, just the fact that she dated him, and this is why she was desperate to make it public that he put out that statement, because that was a huge PR thing for her, because I believe that after he posted that statement, then she did the Vanity Fair thing where they say crazy about Harry. Am I
But don't
correct?
forget,
Yes. Yeah.
it wasn't just Harry who posted that statement. Don't forget that the Duke of Cambridge, William, also posted a statement on their
Hmm.
X site saying that the press should be leaving Meghan Markle alone.
Hmm.
Despite Meghan Markle not being chased, nothing going on, we saw the way that Catherine was chased and harassed for nearly 8 years. Did they ever say anything about leaving her alone?
Nope.
Yeah. And apparently Prince William felt pressure by Harry, because Harry said, you have to throw you have to also talk about it, because he was making people feel bad about it, using emotion. Look at this.
See, this is what Meghan wanted. This
Yep.
is what Meghan thought she would get when she married Harry. That's why I say she's not that bright. She's not that smart, because had she known, had she been paying attention to the time, she would know this was not going on anymore in the UK.
Not for her anyways.
No.
Not for her, but it is. The thing is also, I think that she thought that just by saying that she was dating him, that she would get this kind of press exposure, and it didn't happen.
But the funny part about it is like nobody knew who she was. Like on a wide scale. Like nobody knew who she was. I didn't know who she was until she got engaged. Like I remember that the first time I ever saw her was there was some article that was like, "Oh, Harry's new girlfriend looks like Pippa Middleton." And I looked at the picture of them being packed outside of Soho House or wherever they were on the street in England, and I was like, "Okay." And then I just moved on. I didn't think, oh my gosh, who's that? Let me look her up. Oh, let me find her Instagram. Like I just was like, okay, whatever. Like she didn't have the wow factor for me then.
She
She
acted
doesn't have it now.
No, I know, but you know what I mean. You know, sometimes when you look at someone and you're like, wow, who is that? Because she's so pretty or she's like so whatever. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think he also saw the attention that his exes were getting, and she thought, oh, I'm gonna be the next, I don't know, Cressida. Like, why does Cressida get that and I don't, or whatever? I don't know.
No, I 100% believe that Meghan, after Harry dumped her and she showed up in Jamaica and showed up at the wedding, it's my opinion that she 100% pulled the oldest trick in the Gold Diggers manual and
I'm
said that she was
pregnant.
pregnant.
Oh,
Yeah.
I agree with that.
100%. Because look at Harry's track record. When has Harry ever been attracted to a brunette?
You know, they actually said that around the time that they started dating, he was dating a younger girl who was
He
like what,
was.
the
There was
25-year-old
another girl, yeah.
Burberry model who was a very
Yeah.
pretty brunette girl. Yeah.
Yeah, there was. He was seeing someone else at the time. I remember that, and that's why Meghan went running down to Jamaica too. Like that's
And
why. What?
no,
Go
go
ahead.
for it, Molly.
No,
No,
no.
what's also very disgusting is that Megan didn't put up with what Catherine put up with, because they would yell, "You cunt, you this, you that," to when she was dating William, just
Yeah.
to get her to react.
Yeah. There's a footage of Catherine walking through the airport with her father and Pippa, and
Yeah.
they're going on holiday. And you can hear the press yelling out, bitch, whore, slag, like whatever. And them just like walking because they wanted the reaction out. I credit the Middletons for never speaking out or giving anything to the media. I know Boozy right now is attacking the Middleton family and James Middleton because apparently Meghan Markle now wants to make her business kind of like James Middleton's with the whole dog thing. So now he's attacking them. But anyways, the press
He wants
always
to imitate what the Middletons did, which is they had this website, Party Pieces,
yeah.
This is the thing that you're talking about, right, Molly? It says people praise dignified Kate Middleton after being called a slag
Yeah.
in this clip. She was walking through this is them walking through the airport, and they were calling her the most vile name, guys.
Yeah, they were like, bitch, look this way, bitch. Like just calling her whatever names they could. And just this woman has never in her life complained about her bullying and the harassment or any foul treatment she's gotten from the press. And then you have Meghan Markle, who was protected, who was given everything to her. And that's where the royal family really screwed up, in my opinion. The fact that you guys brought her in so quickly, she didn't have to prove herself to the family or anything. You guys just gave her whatever she wanted. She's a spoiled brat. She's spoiled and entitled. And it's never enough for her.
Yeah, you're right. And not only that, Molly, but
can I just say this one thing?
Go, whatever. You can say whatever.
The thing that pissed me off the most is that we saw how much harassment Catherine got. And then you get Meghan Markle, who went and spent an afternoon with women who were raped and tortured in South Africa, who had to learn how to protect themselves and stuff just to go to school. And she's sitting there, nobody ever asked me if I'm okay. You never asked. Like, are you kidding?
Yeah, no, and you know what? And the funny part of it all is that when Harry issued that statement, because the news, let's put things into perspective. Camilla Tominey broke the news on October 31st, Halloween, right? And Harry posted that statement on November 8th. Yeah. Nobody in the news picked up that thing.
Nobody cared.
Nobody cared. And because nobody cared, Meghan asked for a statement to be released so people would care. And even after the statement, she was
still nobody cared. Yeah, nobody
well, remember cared. Tom Bauer wrote in his book, I think it was Tom Bauer or Valentine Lowe, one of those two, wrote in their book stating that Meghan was telling Harry, if you don't put out a statement now claiming me as your girlfriend, I will dump you. I will leave you.
You know what's really funny about that is one of her friends is one of the producers on like Lifetime or whatever. And there were 3 Lifetime movies made about them, right? So one of the movies came out before the wedding, which is kind of funny. And then there was another movie that was made called, Meghan and Harry Becoming Royal. But in that movie, in the first movie, when Harry, they made it so over the top. They made it seem like there was 100 paparazzi outside of her house, that she couldn't leave the house because there was cameras literally everywhere. Her mom had to literally push through the crowds to get to her daughter's house. And like, I think it's Jill Roth, one of those people that's like one of Meghan's friends from college, like became into filmmaking or whatever, and she's one of the people who was on the
Penelope, I think is, or Genevieve or something like that.
One of them, was working on the film. And I just feel like there was very small things where it's like, where did you get this information to put it in a movie? You know what I mean? Like, is this a creative license that you're taking? Because in the part where he released the statement, her character in the movie was like, she was like mad, like, oh, I'm a feminist, I don't need you to protect me, you know. And then they got into this fight about it, like, but it was just funny. Like,
weren't those Lifetime series, didn't the last one have the image of like Meghan in Diana's car crash?
That's when when
Harry
she had the
woke
car
up
crash.
from the
Yes.
Oh my god, that was such trash.
And he was exactly. And the weird part about it is, right, like Harry said on Netflix that the hate doesn't happen, it happens more online. So for him saying that, nowadays it's more online, is saying that she's not being chased by the cops.
Yeah, he's so dumb.
But you know, he's so full of it. You know, he was chased by 1 or 2 photographers, and he was like, "Oh yeah, they're chasing." Harry was never chased like Prince William nor Princess Diana.
Let's be honest. Harry was the one who was chasing the paps because he was trying to beat them up and smack them. That's Harry. No one was going after him. He was always drunk out of his mind coming out of the clubs. It's almost like people don't seem to remember that, or they don't want to bring that up. Harry used to always be falling out of clubs, fighting with the paps, grabbing them, harassing them, beating them up. Harry even wrote in Spare that he would drink or he would go and punch his own bodyguards, knowing that they couldn't do anything back, just to get a reaction out of them. That tells you what kind of POS Harry truly is.
What's POS? Piece of shit?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. You can say it, because I don't know. And I'm sure a lot of people don't know what that is. I didn't know.
Well, I just don't want to get your video demonetized.
No, you won't. They won't. You have to do like Don't worry about it. I know what you're talking about. This guy is so funny because he was being followed by maybe one or two, and that's because he went to very hot spots. Like
Mm-hmm.
this. This is the one that you're talking. And he fell down, and the worst part of it all is that people couldn't defend themselves because if they hit him, they would get in trouble with the law, in spite of the fact that he was attacking them. This is him attacking one of the paps. It was just one guy.
Yeah. Look at how red he was too. He was shit
Jeez.
faced that night too. When
Yeah.
did Charles build that club at Highgrove or Clarence House for Harry after this incident? Harry talked about it in his book where because if you ever read either Omid Scobie's book or Harry's book, they always give very detailed information on the insides of the palace residences. I don't know if you
Which
guys
is
ever
very
did,
dangerous.
which
Yeah.
is super dangerous. Like in Omid Scobie's first book, in the very first one, he gives you a detailed description on how to get to the vault underneath
That was Megan.
Buckingham
That
Palace
was Megan.
and how every single tiara is housed. But the crazy thing is that how do you know how many stories? Like she told you exactly how many stories it went down below and how other courtiers
That's
didn't
called
know.
espionage. That's a breach of security.
You would
You're
think
not supposed to
after
do that.
that, the royal family would be done with them. Let's be honest, the royal family should have been done with Meghan the first time she was caught taking photos in private areas of the royal
Kids,
palaces and the
of the
kids.
kids.
Yeah. Why would you let a woman back into the family after she did something like that to destroy the trust right there? I don't understand. But what I was saying was that Harry had mentioned how in one of the houses, I think it was Charles's Highgrove house, he had his own private club where it was soundproof. He had his own bar and everything, and his friends would go down there and party down there.
And this is why we're seeing this, because I believe that Charles knows that Harry brings chaos to William. For some reason, they want to still vilify because William is, if you notice something, while Catherine was being trashed, Camilla was the hero of the royal family.
Yeah. It was all about, look at how many engagements she's doing. She's
She
doing
did
so much.
13 engagements, and then she
And
had to
then
take
went
a
on a
week
break.
off.
Yeah, then went on
You know
a
what's
break.
crazy? Don't you remember that they said that Camilla would be going to her own private estate that she has, but instead she went off for a 2-week holiday in Spain?
Yep. And nobody talks about it. The press is not talking about
No,
it.
nobody talks about it. No.
Mhm.
But then if people like you and I bring it up in one of our videos, Jesus, we get dragged for filth for even mentioning it.
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah. And this is one of the things that, sometimes I wonder what it's not even, I shouldn't even, I don't want to even, I get upset because I'm thinking, wait a minute, I think this is the picture. This is actually, I'll show you this. You guys, this is Meghan Markle, who was caught. She was caught going through Prince
Oh,
William's
thank you,
car.
Jennifer. Thank you for answering that. She says Club H was way before then at Highgrove. Thank you.
Oh yeah, it was, and it was even called Club H because Harry
Yeah.
didn't want to feel left out.
Dork.
So they named it after him because he threw a tantrum. And this is Meghan caught going through William's car.
Yeah, I
That
remember
was not
that
Harry's
video.
car.
I remember that video, and I was like, "What is she looking for?" But I didn't know that it was his car. I
It
thought
was
that it
my
was her
video. It's
own
just
car.
that it's my video on TikTok. The problem is that I'm revamping my TikTok because I turned it into business. So I have it off the air right now, but it is my video. It was featured in Daily Mail because it had over 4 million views.
Oh wow!
I have videos that had over 23 million views on TikTok, but so this is why I'm revamping it. Sorry about that, but all of them will come up. But yeah, King Charles is leaving the door open for what's it called, Harry to come back. You know what?
I hope not.
The nature of the snake is to bite and to attack, even when unprovoked. So I think that what was it that George Bush Jr. said? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on you. Fool me 3 times, shame on me, or something like that. I can't believe
Yeah.
it. I mean,
But
how
the
many
thing is,
times?
like what you just said. But my question is, how much can they take? Like,
Yes.
how much can you tolerate your own family how is it that, like, okay, like, we're YouTubers, right? Imagine if every time I had a conversation with my own brother, I made a YouTube video about it. I was like, yeah, this is what was said, this is what was discussed. But let's say my brother's not a YouTuber, so he's not gonna know. Well, yeah, of course he's gonna know that I'm talking to the world, right? And then people like, it's just like the whole 12-minute meeting thing. Even before that, when the queen was alive, when he met with her before going to Germany or whatever, and Invictus, and it's like, yeah, I just want to make sure she has the right people around her. Like, why? Like, like anybody would be a fool to be like, yeah, he can keep abusing me because he's my brother. He can keep abusing me because she's my sister. He can keep abusing me because he's my son. Like, if you tolerate abuse of any kind, you don't love yourself. I'm sorry. And if a person is, if your brother is an abuser, you don't have a brother. You have a leech.
Yeah, and Megan Small, do you want to
I
answer SEG 429? The reason why I
yeah,
think no is because it was in the news.
I just sent Paula the link to her WhatsApp to bring it up so you can show her, show
Okay,
them.
thank you so
Yeah,
very much,
no
gorgeous. I'll
problem.
do this.
While Timmy was speaking, yeah, I pulled it up for you and I sent it
Okay,
there.
here it is. Here we go. This is why people and they ask it as though they're daring us, you know.
No, I don't. People like to see the proof. That's all it is. They want to see where I saw
You
it.
know
And
what
this,
really bothers me? That
yeah,
some other YouTubers come, oh, these sources, and they don't, and they're taking as blind faith without proof of anything. And these
yeah.
YouTubers are basically repeating what we're saying.
Yeah. No, if I say something or if I mention it, trust me, I have sources for it, and I'll
Me too.
always in all of my videos, I always include all of the links to my sources in the description box below all the time. So I have all the proof what articles I picked it up from, unless if it's something someone has personally told me, then I'll say it's someone, like, I think I'm pretty clear with where I get my information
Yeah.
from.
But this is where I want you to
Yeah.
see how the media turns it around, how the media gaslight the fuck out of us. Camilla, the Queen consort, enjoyed a well-earned break in a luxury Spanish finca as crisis continues to engulf the UK's royal family. It has merged. The crisis was Catherine's edited picture. That's it. That was the crisis.
That wasn't even a crisis. They like
But
on
they're trying to say, look,
yeah.
they're trying to justify the big lie. Nobody's calling out the lie that she wasn't at her home looking after her very sick husband who can't even do public duties, but she took off to Spain without the husband who's undergoing serious chemo because she did 13 engagements.
Yeah, I mean, look at Princess Anne, right? Like, she does so much. She's the hardest, in my opinion, the hardest working royal. And like, I mean, like, when people talk about lies, like how people said that, oh, they lied about Catherine's cancer. No, they didn't lie. She had stomach surgery, abdominal surgery, and then she got the doctors told her that after the surgery, when she was recovering, that they found cancerous cells, right? So like, she didn't know back in December or January or whenever she went to go get the surgery that she had cancer. She didn't know that. You know what I
But
mean?
listen to this, guys. What can you read this? Because I'm going to get livid and furious. Can you read this,
Yeah.
Megan?
Who do you want?
Megan's Mold, you read it because
Okay.
you're.
Oh, with her husband sidelined from royal responsibilities as he begins treatment for the unnamed cancer, Queen Camilla has headed up constitutional duties, working over dozens official appointments as the de facto leader of the royal family. Any comments, or you want me to keep going?
Well, the thing is that this is March, right? So she has January and in 2 months. In a little bit over 2 months, she's done 13 engagements. And they don't want to say 13 because they want to say more than a dozen.
Yeah,
It's
in
actually
dozens. In 60 days, you work 12 days.
not even worked. She had to get on a car because actually her staff who did all the work, they get her in a car, they drive her over there with bloody security. She gets out, does her 1 hour thing, and then she goes back. Okay. So just let's do the math. It wasn't 60 days because it was mid March that she went, right?
Yeah.
And then so we're looking at, let's say, 75 days. We're not, I mean, 4 por 2, 8, not even four. No, not even four engagements a week, not even 2 engagements a week, guys.
I
'Cause
mean, that's like Meghan Markle standards of work, right?
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. 1 hour a week.
And they're not saying anything about that.
Yeah, and continue reading, sweetie.
Okay. Now, journalist Marissa Martin Blasquez on the TV program Tardear has revealed that King Charles III wife flew to Spain to enjoy some respite away from the stresses and strains of royal life in the UK. According to the television contributor, Camilla came to hunt partridges in a luxury finca used by King Juan Carlos and other members of the Spanish nobility and its aristocracy.
I mean, what do you make of this, to me?
Like, okay, if she went on vacation to Spain, I don't care. Just say that though. You know what I mean? Like, don't say that, oh, she's going to. Because let's say the tables were turned, right? If William said, oh, me and the kids are going to wherever, the wellness retreat, and then we found out he was in Tokyo, like, I don't even know,
Hello?
racing go karts. It would, like, no, he would never be forgiven for that. Like,
King
he would.
William was being trashed and dragged through to hell for missing his godfather's funeral. We
Mm-hmm,
later find out it's because he found out of Catherine's cancer
mm-hmm,
diagnosis that day.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
If the public is being told that Camilla is going to her own private estate for a holiday for 2 weeks, that's no problem. If you want to take a 2 week holiday, go take a 2 week holiday.
Yeah, that's fine.
The fact that they're lying to the public, that's the thing.
The reason for that, Megasmall, is because they want to justify by saying a well-earned break because she's just coming out of Christmas.
Let's
You know
be
what I mean?
honest. Princess Anne does like 6, 7, 8, 9 engagements in one day.
Mm-hmm.
Are you kidding me? And what holidays does she take? And we don't hear about it. Camilla is just like, come on, man. They've even said it before. Camilla was never wanting to be the queen. She's almost like Wallace. Think
Mm-hmm.
about it. Wallace never wanted to be the queen. She just wanted to be the side chick who had the parties, who lived the lavish lifestyle. And that's all Camilla wanted. She wanted to just be the hostess with the mostest. She just wanted to throw the parties and have fun, be a woman of leisure, go and sit by a pool all day, drink tea, have some gin. And that's her day. She doesn't want to be out and about like talking to people.
You know what's amazing, Megasmall, that before she was crowned,
Yeah.
remember all the engagements? She was so visible doing all these engagements, and she didn't take any breaks because Charles was pushing her hard.
Yeah.
This hardworking person, and she wanted
Yeah.
to go in, and as soon as she became crowned, it's fuck it. We don't need to pretend anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. I'm aware.
But the thing is, if you don't want to be the wife, why are you the wife?
Oh, she wanted to be the wife. I just don't
She
think
just
she wants
didn't
to
want
work.
to do the engagements. She just doesn't want to do the work. She doesn't seem like there. Let's be honest. No one will be like the queen. There will never, ever be another woman like the queen who has dedicated themselves to their work in the manner that she has. Show me one person in this world at the current moment that we are living in, at this current time, someone who is dedicated to their job as the queen was. There's no one.
Yeah, the queen in her 70s, like, which is the age Camilla is, she was very active, traveling and doing all kinds of things.
Yeah, like Camilla won't even travel overseas. She gets
she just doesn't, like you said,
go
she
to
doesn't
Spanish.
seem interested.
You know, actually, guys, I did a live on a Spanish channel, and they were all like, "What the hell is this she doing over here hunting?" You know, like working after just 13 engagements. The people in Spain were mocking her.
Well, you see, everyone's calling William lazy.
Yeah, work
Oh,
shy
William
Will,
lazy.
like,
They call him
oh
work
my
shy
God.
William. What
Yeah.
for? Because he's a man with 3 young children taking care of his family while his wife is sick, and they're calling him work shy William. We don't know what they're doing behind the scenes. We don't
Exactly.
like he's dealing with Earthshot. There's still things happening behind the scenes with that. But
And not only Earthshot, he also has the homeless.
yeah.
Yep. So, guys, I have a question that is kind of pivoting away from this. What do you think about the whole Flamingo estate and how apparently Flamingo estate is a thing and it's been around for quite some time and works with other celebrities and all that kind of stuff? And then, American Riviera Orchard wanted to get in there and, she wanted to work with them, and when they were like, no, sorry, we're not interested, she started her brand.
Let's just say her brand has already what brand? What brand? I mean, it's already failed before it's even gotten up. I honestly think that when she married Harry, Megan thought, okay, I'm gonna go back to Hollywood and show up all these people, and they're gonna throw themselves at my mangly bunions, and they're gonna beg to want to work with me. And I think that Megan, as the Duchess of Sussex, thought that the same was going to happen with American Riviera Orchard. She thought that companies and
I caught what you said there.
she thought that brands and products were just and luxury high-end hotels were just going to throw themselves at her and want to be on her Instagram site or on her Instagram page so that she can get freebies. I honestly think she is so lazy that she thinks that I'm the Duchess of Sussex. They are supposed to come to me.
That's exactly what she thinks.
That's what she's thinking. Because who launches a brand and you couldn't even get 3 products together or like a couple t-shirts or some hats or something, but someone else who made a spoof of the website has like books and stuff that they're selling right now on Shopify that's not even hers. So how does that
It's very messy. It is I don't think that was even a launch. They say, oh, the soft launch now, right? Because she hasn't been able
No.
to get to 600,000. And by the way, I did the InBeat thing, which is it's a software that it can tell you how many accounts are inactive. And she's gone to 62% of her accounts are inactive, which is why she's not showing, she's not showing the likes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and or the comments. I think the hard part about watching all of this go down in real time, and as somebody, if you guys don't know in the comments, and Paula was shocked when I said this on YouTube before, that I used to be a fan of Megan. I used to be one of the squaddies, if you want to call me that. But I wasn't like, I didn't hate Catherine. I never hated Catherine. I liked both of them, right? And I think what a lot of people thought was, okay, Harry finally found his Catherine, right? When she was introduced to the world. And I think the hardest part is realizing the person that Harry is, and like all the things he was doing on, like how when he got naked in Las Vegas, right after that he went to go play baseball with the kids or some sport with the kids in New York or something to rehabilitate his image. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things where it's like you start to see how, I think this really just unmasked the way he was protected and who he actually was underneath the veneer of the royal family, and like, covering up, like an image, not an image consultant, but like, when they protect the celebrities and they're like, they manage everything so that they make sure that they look good at all times in the press. You know what I mean?
I want to
And
show you guys this. I want to show you guys this. This is the typical inactive account. I want to show you. It has one post. It's following over 1,714. And I want to show you this. And she is basically one of the followers or the people who like Meghan Markle's this empty post. See, these people, you see that?
yeah,
Not very many likes. And some of these accounts, they look at that, for example. See that?
She probably had Boozy add some bots to her account just to
Yeah.
follow
If
her.
you look at these people, like 4 followers, 0
Yeah.
posts. These are inactive accounts. Here,
yeah,
another
ghost
one.
accounts.
She has so many. Look at this. Do you see that? And these are people who basically, and not very many likes. Okay. This is what I mean, that she has issues. She has 583,000 followers, out of which 62% are fake accounts or inactive accounts. That doesn't say very much, does it?
Nope.
Well, I mean, with Instagram, there was a point where all people cared about was the numbers. So all they cared about was, oh, you have 500K. They didn't care about engagement. But there are some brands that, like, if you want to work with a brand, they'll run your engagement and say, well, yeah, you have, like you said, 100,000, but you only have 1% engagement. So only like 500 people are liking your photo. So this is really bad. We don't want to work with you because you're not going to get sales, drive
Yeah,
sales, you
this,
know?
this is another one. Look at this. Lauren Leknowitz. One post. Look at this. 0 posts.
And you
It's
know, Paula, there's actually videos where it shows you click farms in China where the bots, like there are obviously real people who all day, every day they make fake accounts, make spam accounts, and then just hit like. So you order like 100, you order 100 likes, and then they just start spam
yeah,
liking. Yeah, they're just sitting there running through. So it's yeah, it's really something. And it's crazy because Christopher Bluesy has said he runs Bot Centennial, right? But then he's like he he runs a bot farm, but then you want us to believe that like everybody behind her account is not bots. Like when you look at the negative tweets about, oh, you know, Catherine is you know, some people were tweeting that, oh, Catherine got surgery for an eating disorder and had bile in a bag, and then you have 100 different tweets with the same exact copy paste. Oh, I can't believe it, Catherine had an eating disorder, the proof, whatever picture, right? But it's the same exact word for word copy paste on 100, 200, 1,000 different accounts. So like nobody has the exact word for word on 1,000 different posts. It's just not a thing. You know what I mean? So like it's obvious that they're using bots to attack the Prince and Princess of Wales, and it's just like it's so obvious. It's so obvious.
and you know, people are asking to wrap it up. What do you guys think of the visa thing? What's going on? And I did a thing about the BACA. Actually, we're going to talk about the BACA thing. But go with the visa and then the little bit on the back end where
Tumi, you want to go first?
About the visa, I mean, I haven't really been paying close attention. I just think it's very sus how you know, Meghan and Harry love to put out statements and be the kings and queens of being clapbacks, and now they're just eerily silent. And you know, there. Remember when there was an Instagram page just called Megan that launched, like with no post, no profile picture, nothing. It just said Megan, and it got like 200,000 followers because remember how what's her face, how she had said in the cut article, oh, by the way, I'm coming back to Instagram. And then some mysterious account launched. I think that was going to be her actual page, like her personal page. But people say that like she likes to announce before she does anything, and even now she's still apparently still trying to hire a CEO and hasn't made any products that you guys had already mentioned. So like I think that I think American Riviera Orchard will have to have some products, but I know this was not the question, but I still feel like one way or another she's going to launch these things. I don't know what's going on with the visa, but I think it's weird that they're being so quiet because also Catherine has cancer. And you know, the week after Megan sat at South by Southwest in Austin, Texas, my hometown, and was like, "Oh, why would you share, you know, conspiracy theories about women? Why are you sharing that? Why are you telling your friends that? You know, if that was your, you know, friend or your sister, you wouldn't share that kind of stuff. Why are you doing that?" Her squad was like, Catherine is dead. Catherine is in a coma. Catherine is being beat up. William beat her up. Like the most insane. Like no one has even ever suspected that about Harry. No one has ever said, "Oh, Harry put his hands on Meghan." No one has ever said that. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just one of those
Megan
things.
must have beat the shit out of him, though. That's for sure.
But what I'm saying is, it's one of those things where it's like, you know, like I, it's, I think the silence is complicit, right? Like they said in Oprah. But it's one of those things where I don't think things are going well in the regard of like they're quiet for a reason, and you know they're usually up to something when they're quiet. And
Well,
oh, with
and Andy
this
from
couch,
POV said that that's a good that Harry should be visible, especially after the P. Diddy thing. But Harry's
yeah,
gone awfully quiet, just like he
yeah.
went awfully quiet about the backup people. About 2 days ago, very early in the morning, I received information. But you guys know I have a lot of friends in London because of my previous life, and he sent me the reports, guys. And I broke down in tears. I did a video where I wasn't professional. I was crying like crazy because it is disgusting what's happening to the backup people because of a mineral called coltan, not the metal cobalt, coltan, which was a new thing that Bill Gates found, and is 80% of it is in Congo, where the backup people live.
Mm,
Okay, so Bill Gates found out about this about 2005, 2006, because these elites, guys, they find out stuff. They know they have access to info we don't have.
yeah, then they plan. Yeah.
So he campaigned heavily because there used to be a ban, and the government had placed a ban on mining because everybody was mining in El Congo, and it was polluting. It pollutes the water horribly. So he lobbied, bribed the government until 2011. They lifted the ban, and now you have children as young as 4 or 5 working in those mines. And the reason why they want to, and they created these rangers from the Africa parks to make them look legit, but it's just basically a horrible thing, guys. And and Harry knew about it. Harry knew about it.
What I want to know is, will Wellchild still keep Harry as the face of their charity after being named in a sex trafficking lawsuit, after everything that he's been named with African parks? I wouldn't want a man like that around children. Are you kidding? Yuck.
Exactly.
I don't care if they say that Harry had no business in a freak off or anything, but the way Harry bent over that day at Polo with his hands on his butt cheeks, spreading them, he looks like he's quite experienced. Maybe he's been to a couple Diddy freak offs. Who knows? But I wouldn't want him around my child if his name was even mentioned in a case like that.
It
This
is
woman
actually
in
disgusting. It is actually disgusting. And people are saying, "Oh, but he was just named." It doesn't mean that all the reporters are doing the work of PR for Harry.
Can we
Why
talk
are they
about,
asking those questions?
well, remember with Andrew, that's how it all started too. By his name just showing up with an allegation in court documents. That's
That's
how
what I
it all
said. That's what I
started
said.
off. Yeah.
this woman
You
in
know
the
what's
chat named
interesting,
Sandra.
girls? I got to tell you this. We have to. I mean, you know what's interesting?
Yeah.
That that Virginia Roberts didn't start the lawsuit until 2021 when Meghan was back in the U.S.
Yeah.
She didn't start it in 2020 or 2019 when Epstein was arrested. It was 2021 until after Meghan, because remember that Virginia's lawyer said that now Meghan Markle was in the United States, so they had jurisdiction over her, and she could
Mm.
be counted because she had been a close associate of Andrew during that time. And that time means when Virginia was being, according to her, falsely victimized. Because I think she's a skank. I'm sorry.
Someone in the chat named Sandra had said that she doesn't get why they keep referring to them as like the Duke and Duchess, in articles and stuff instead of just calling them Meghan and Harry. But it's because, Sandra, that a lot of times, like, there was an article where they just called her Meghan Markle, and literally, like, within 10 minutes, the article was edited to say the Duchess of Sussex. So people believe that, like, she will call the publication and be like, use my title. Like how some people with a PhD are like, I am a doctor. Like, you're gonna call me doctor. Like,
And
yeah.
and
So
get this, William, Megan Small, and to me,
mhm.
wouldn't it be interesting if we find out that Megan was with Harry and Andrew, and that she was with Andrew and now with Harry? It'd be something. I wouldn't put it past her to say that she was trafficked and it wasn't her choice to marry Harry.
I just
I honestly think that maybe Meghan and Andrew knocked boots at one time.
Oh yeah,
wow.
allegedly, I think. I
Allegedly.
wouldn't look at why would Virginia get her as a witness?
Yeah, exactly. Because if she just met him and thought, oh, he's the waiter or whatever they said she
The
said,
ballet,
and
the ballet.
yeah, whatever they thought she was, but she knew Eugenie. And why aren't they trying to get someone like Catherine who's known him much longer?
But she wasn't around that environment. Princess Catherine wasn't around that environment, skanky
Mm,
environment.
yeah.
I love this couch. Is this the dog? But we're gonna leave with this thing. Is this the dog that had two broken legs on
Yes,
that skanky
yes,
couch?
yes, that's a dog. That picture is kind of funny because Nanaki Pretty, which was Megan's best friend, childhood best friend until she got to Toronto, um, had said that when she was with Trevor, that she had this black and white aesthetic where everything in the house was like black and white, and she loved to throw like dinner parties and be a hostess and like all that kind of stuff. So the black and white couch now, when I look at it, I think about that whole like I could very much see her being one of those people who's like Barbara the Builder, as we like to call them nowadays, where you just come into a man's life and you're like, I'm gonna change him and make him into my aesthetic. I personally don't believe in that. I like my men to have the aesthetic that I'm already attracted to when I meet them. I'm not like, oh, I'm gonna throw all his clothes out and change how he dresses and decorate his house for him. Like, no, 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 no. That's too much work. But
Disgusting, disgusting.
yeah.
But anyways, we're gonna get going, beautiful people, because I've been withholding these ladies. I will see you guys on Wednesday for Megan Small and Andrew.
I'll see you
And,
then.
How
and,
would a
and
dog
go
break two
subscribe to
legs
these
though? I'm
people.
sorry,
I
like
don't
I'm so
understand why you're not
confused.
subscribing to them, liking. This I'm surprised and disappointed because I didn't get very many likes here, and the likes and comments help the channel reach a wider audience. Okay.
Mm.
So go subscribe to these people. We're giving you our time. We're giving you entertaining you. So I'll see you guys on Wednesday, and then of course for the Royal Mess on Friday. And go check out Megan Small and Toomey, who's putting really. By the way, guys, we're gonna have to fly to Toomey's because I've seen how you cook. Ooh, shit. Even I, guys, even I used to be anorexic, so I'm not a big. I don't suffer hunger, right? But when I see your
The food
videos,
from
I was
yesterday,
like,
no,
damn, did you
the
see them,
food.
Megan Small?
I saw it. I did. I
Oh,
was about to lick my screen.
you should do more of that. And you
Oh
should do
man.
something about talking about Megan and the royal family while you cook. Because man, that was so good.
You could be like a little story time series while she's cooking, right?
Yes,
So
yes,
like,
yes, yes. You should do
yeah.
that because it's really, really good. I was like, damn, that looks good. And I'm not even. I'm a former anorexic. But thanks very much, ladies. And I'll see you on Wednesday. And I'll see you all. And thank you very much for joining me, beautiful people.
Thanks,
Thank
Paula.
you,
Bye
Paula.
to
Thank you,
me.
Bye,
Megan Small.
gorgeous.
Bye, bye.
Bye,
Thank you
guys.
guys. Bye, bye.